Hey guys, want to do a super quick video about the basics of making philosophical arguments. Okay, so as far as the basics of critical reasoning, we need to understand the terms that we use. So this is the terms of philosophy. So a statement is an assertion that is either true or false, right? It's a claim. We use this word claim. So murder is wrong is a claim. 1 plus 2 equals 4 is a claim. It's either true or false. An argument is a collection of claims that give reasons to believe another claim. So when you're constructing an argument, you're going to have claims that support a claim, right? Statements supporting a statement. We call the supporting statements premises, and the statement that is being supported, we call that the conclusion. So we've got premises, which are claims that support a conclusion. And that is what an argument is from a philosophical point of view. Fundamentally, there are two types of arguments. There are deductive and inductive arguments. Deductive arguments, pretty rare in like an economics class. So it's logically conclusive support. So A is true, B is true, so C must be true. The very famous argument that is the kind of example of deductive argument goes like this: all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates must be mortal, right? That's the famous deductive argument example. Because these two things are true, this other thing must rationally follow from those things. These are pretty rare. More common are inductive arguments, which basically all scientific arguments are inductive arguments. We think C is true, and points A and B give evidence that it is most likely true. And either, deductive and inductive arguments can be legitimate or illegitimate. We'll deal with a couple types of statements. It's a couple types of claims, right? So a moral claim or a moral statement would be a claim that something is right or wrong. So capital punishment, that's the death penalty, is wrong. That's a claim. A non-moral statement is trying to describe the way things are without assigning moral value. Many people think capital punishment is wrong. Of course, I hope that distinction is pretty clear. Moral statements describe what is right or wrong. Non-moral statements try to describe the world as it is. If you've been introduced to these terms before, you can think the difference between normative ought to statements versus positive is statements, right? So when we make moral arguments, we should make sure that we support our conclusions with both moral and non-moral claims, moral and non-moral statements. It's really not enough to only have one or the other. So what am I saying? If you're going to say the death penalty is wrong, and you want to convince people that that is true, you're going to want to say something like, human life has inherent value, and it's always wrong to take that value from someone. That might be a moral claim to support that argument. And again, I'm not saying I agree with this, just giving you an example of how we would construct this argument. But you would also want to say, this study shows that the death penalty doesn't actually decrease rates of crime. And this poll shows that most people oppose the death penalty. So now we've constructed both moral and non-moral claims that support our conclusion. If you want a convincing moral argument, you're going to need claims about the rightness and the facts on your side to make it compelling. So I would definitely construct your moral arguments like that. Good stuff.